What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling great today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Harry has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So the purpose, I know there's a lot of Cancer. So the purpose of the channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Jupiter, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off the lovely Rhonda here, the good old moon. I know her and I are about to do a lot, Cancer. And I'll talk about when she's I'll talk about when the actual moon, of what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and when she's going void of course, just all those lunar shenanigans. Plenty of them to come, Cancer. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy around here, Cancer. And Cancer, happy Friday. It's Venus Day. Hope you're feeling lovely. Maybe get your finances in check there, Cancer. Venus Day is a dope day for some money there, Cancer. But also, it's a great day to go void of course, because the moon's going to be going void of course, Cancer, at about 3:48 in the afternoon, and that'll be Eastern time. And then she'll be moving from Pisces into Aries at about 11:19 in the evening. So we're looking at about a 7-hour, 31-minute void of course time there, Cancer. Thank you. And the void of course energy is great for just doing some meditation, Cancer, and just really checking in with yourself with how much we feel, how often we feel, and whether others like to admit it or not, how much they feel, how often they feel, and we take that all on, Cancer, and that's a lot. And so it's good to just take a moment and just kind of find yourself again, and really process it, especially if you notice any sort of emotions that have been maybe little extra, maybe even like exacerbated as of late, because it may not even be yours, Cancer. It really might have been maybe just like the stress at work or anything along those lines, stuff you pick up in traffic. So check in with yourself, Cancer. And then also with this energy, you may notice that your plans may be subject to unexpected changes, and that also people may be less likely to make decisions during this time. So something to check out, just pay attention to, Cancer. And then with the moon being in Pisces, this is a really lovely placement for the moon. Pisces is very empathetic and very compassionate, so you may be feeling a little extra sensitive than normal, Cancer, to just like your fellow soul tribe member, however that's looking. So I would say, not that we're cutting ourselves off from news intake and things, but make sure that we're just protecting our energies, because you will be a little more susceptible to the more kind of global energies that's going on. Because Pisces is, thinking about Neptune really kind of covers compassion on a very wide scale, and then expand that with Jupiter. It's a lot going on with Pisces. So just something to pay attention to there, Cancer. And it's a great spiritual energy as well. So, while we couple that with the void of course energy, even with this waning gibbous energy, deals with some meditation there, internal reflection, Cancer. This can get in touch with your spiritual side. Pisces is associated with the 12th house. It deals with that divine realm, the subconscious. It's really fantastic energy, that 12th house energy. So just something to think about there, Cancer. And I thought I had one more thing for dreams, Cancer. You may notice too that you might be dreaming a lot more, so definitely keep yourself a notebook. Higher self likes to talk to you from many different areas, and what a perfect place while you're just catching some Z's, getting some inspiration as well there, Cancer. And then with the waning gibbous phase, this is like the calm after the storm, Great energy for showing gratitude, Cancer. Whether whatever we set out for the beginning of this lunar cycle, if it's gone exactly how we've planned, slightly how we planned, or maybe not even at all how we planned. Just even be grateful for the fact that you even took the initiative to change, and to try to change something. And even be grateful for the future to come, because we're not going to stop growing. If anything, we're just going to evaluate, because it's great for evaluations as well, Cancer. and seeing and just seeing like where do we want to adjust, where do we need to what do we need to tweak, because Jupiter really likes that, Cancer. And by the way, Jupiter is exalted in our sign. You know, after Pisces and Sagittarius, he loves kicking it in Cancer, and that's saying a lot. I feel like the planet of luck and wisdom, abundance, things like that along those lines. And I think Neptune as well. Neptune's exalted in our sign as well, Cancer. So we're in great energy right now, so work with that. And then last few things, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested in Cancer. I'm actually thinking about getting some new decks here soon. Nature my problem. And what I say, I included links for down, yeah. And then also down below, so I'm getting off my, this happens when I get off my spiel, Cancer. And also down below are some links for some other readers that I like watching as well, so definitely check them out, Cancer. Let's see what your general energy, let's see what your Cancer. So the general energy of the day, this is a tricky card. You got all of Aquarius's cards are weird. So you got the third card of Aquarius here, which is the Black Widow card. And with this card, this is a card of betrayal, warning, twisted, turncoat, cunning, danger, toxic situation or relationship, web of control, entrapment, unexpected attack, insidious, poisonous, and low vibration. In Cancer, the energy that's coming through here is the cunning. And I feel like cunning is... I feel like sometimes cunning has a very kind of ambiguous sort of translation, I feel. Like there are times where I feel like it is great to be that kind of cunning, clever, sort of like... I feel like it does have this place that's sort of just like that natural, like wordsmith or something along those lines that I'm getting. But I feel that there's an energy here, just when we think with the Black Widow. It's just being where, and take this as it resonates, Cancer, you know you're in a safe space here. But if we know that we have a way with words, or we have a way to manipulate a situation, be real cunning, Cancer, like, I just say we want to be mindful with that. Use your powers for good, like Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. So that's something to pay attention to. Like for example, with my chart placements, I have Mercury in Leo. And Leo can be, like, Mercury in Leo is very upbeat and very kind of inspirational, motivational, and it's one of those you got to be mindful with how you use that energy, because yeah, sure, you could use it to uplift, but then you could use it again to kind of, the ulterior motives is what I'm kind of getting at. That's more kind of what I'm looking for, Cancer. So just being mindful whether if you're doing that or if someone else around us we happen to know that, Cancer. Because even just thinking with Pisces energy, because they are so loving, so compassionate, so open, that they can be, and this is not all Pisces or even Pisces placements, but there is that potential for like deceit, or to use them in a way that, because they're so giving, and I don't even feel like this has to necessarily be malicious, Cancer, where it's like that's their exact aim, but even I'm just kind of paying attention to that, Cancer. Listen, and it's not to say that there's going to be let's get some tarot on this and get some details, Cancer. Thank you. All right, Cancer, let's see what we got here. Interesting. Okay, Cancer. Wow. Okay, Cancer. So you have husband and wife came out here. You got the King and Queen of Crystals, the Three of Stars, the Tower, and the Strength card here, Cancer. And that's very fascinating, because both the King and... So the crystals in this deck are swords, and then the stars are pentacles. And the Three of Stars can deal with collaboration, Cancer. And the fact that you have both the King and Queen of Crystals popping out here, I do feel like that there is this energy of, like, either for some, there's this energy of being mindful of it's almost like we're playing word games with each other. It's like a battle of the wits. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be in like a deceitful type of way, Cancer. This could be maybe for some we are looking to be more kind of looking for more kind of cunning conversations, possibly. Like to express that wit. Maybe some of you might have some air placements or something. As I got a Gemini moon, I could chat it up all day. But it's like maybe some of us are looking for that sort of stimulation, that fulfillment. Maybe this tower is like a change type of, like changing, like maybe But I also kind of get with this, Cancer, just because considering you got the Strength card, this is the Strength card is Leo energy, and that's the opposite of Aquarius, and that forms oppositions. And I know I'm piecing together a weird puzzle here, Cancer, but when it comes to opposition like in like celestial aspects and like astrology, it's like the oppositions are either situations or people that bring about a decision that's needing to be made. So I feel like that there's something up here about, it's almost like there's this, I feel like just paying attention to what people say to you, or maybe even some that might even think that they're smarter than you, Cancer. Maybe trying to pull, I don't know if they're trying to pull a fast one, but just trying to, or maybe even trying to get you to this place where you feel less than, or something along those lines. This could be either like a work setting, considering you got the Three of Stars, or King, Queen of Crystals. This could be even like a familial type of thing, maybe even a partnership. But it's very interesting energy that's coming through here, Cancer. All right, but yeah, I think I'm gonna leave that there. But yeah, pay definitely. Yeah, because that's a very strong start with all these strong crystal cards coming out here. You know what? Something else, Cancer. Because I was like, there's. I almost feel like for some that there may be this even for some like a maybe maybe we haven't been feeling as witty as of late. Not even as witty, but maybe it's not that you don't feel smart, Cancer, but it's just like maybe we've recently changed to a different environment, and the conversations are a little more cerebral, and we want to be able to contribute more. Express your wisdom and something along those lines, Cancer. And this could be maybe we're trying to initiate a change to learn some new things, possibly to. Very interesting, Cancer. But yeah, I think that might be something too to think about. If we're thinking about that, to just feel more confident in like a more sort of like a. I'm even kind of getting, sorry, Cancer. I am gonna move on to the next thing in a second. But it's like this. I even could feel like for some that maybe we're even just think about the tower. Like it's like we may be trying to change how, even like we might have been brought up, possibly. Maybe we were raised in like a sort of a more kind of like a cold environment. Where it was more sort of like education, and maybe intellect and things were more emphasized than maybe like your emotions or things along those lines. And where there's nothing wrong with, I'm all about that type of stuff, but there does need to be a balance in that. And maybe for some there's this change of, we're used to operating in this sort of way, always always having to have like a quick response, or it's needing to have the last word or something along those lines. But now maybe for some there might be even a dynamic that might be trying to change, because maybe we're finding that being in relationships with just intellect, where, what is that called, Cancer, like a sapiosexual, something along those lines, where because I like that, where it's like, yeah, like the intellect and things are nice, but it's just like to have those, that bit of emotion, that to take it a little bit further, to add a little more warmth or something along those lines. All right, Cancer, I'm gonna move on from that, but yeah, hopefully that made sense there. Let's Let's get some other energy on this. Thank you. Okay, Cancer. Oh, wow, Cancer. A lot of divine counterparts coming through here. So you have the Hierophant and the High Priestess here, the Seven of Cups, the Seven of Wands, the Nine of Cups, and then the Four of Stars here, Cancer. And that's fascinating, Cancer, because I feel with this energy here for some, I don't know. It feels like for some, if this is like a relationship thing, for example, it feels like that we're looking for something a little bit more secure. It's like it almost feels like that maybe we've been in the crystals or like the swords energy in a sense of like we've just been kind of talking, and I don't know, Cancer, it's like we've been talking, but now we're with the Hierophant and the High Priestess here. It's like we're trying to take something different or do something a little bit deeper, something a little different, someone who maybe understands you on a more type of intuitive level, or a more, yeah, just a deep, like even just making like a deeper connection here, because this with the Seven of Cups, it seems like that maybe we've been, it's like we're, I don't know. It's just like we're not looking for the same old type of thing. It's like, that's interesting, Cancer. I do kind of feel like for some others, though. Oh, well, let me get, hold on. Because if that's the case, I was just like, yeah, really, this is a lot going on here, Cancer. I feel that if we have been maybe in something where, just been kind of looking for a relationship where we feel like there's like this soulmate type of level here, it's like, I feel that there's a need to, maybe it's just like a changing of how we're going about it, Cancer. Maybe we've been kind of doing it in a more sort of like meeting people more kind of like social settings and things. And where it's not that you can't form long lasting bonds there, but maybe it's like we're maybe even going to more kind of like scheduled, like maybe possibly even going online, possibly, Cancer, if you're not doing that already, but just setting it up to maybe to be like a more kind of intimate setting. Maybe instead of, if this is someone we've been talking to for a little bit, it's like instead of going for like to a restaurant or something, maybe going like a picnic, or maybe we're cooking dinner at your place or their place, or something to maybe help form that bond there. But I'm also I'm also kind of getting from others, if we're not, it's not relationship type things. I'm getting this sense of just like watching. It's like watching for how others may be interacting with us. It may not be a direct, may not be like a total affront, but it's like there's this. I feel like there may be some, and again, it could be in like a work setting, familial setting, relationship, where it's like people are talking to you or maybe acting around you in a way, treating you in a way that maybe they think you don't pick up on, or something along those lines, Cancer. And I feel like, this is a great place to be in a state of observation right now, as opposed to just and trusting that you're really, really trusting your intuition, Cancer, with both these two popping up here. And yeah, Cancer, if you just feel like, yeah, because this might even be something too where we may need to have a conversation, maybe with some of this. Just even thinking with the Crystal family here, this might be something where we might need to have a conversation where we're, and I get, Cancer, not wanting to maybe be, and I don't feel like it's confrontational per se. It's just like, yo, I don't know who you think I am, but it's just like, but then you know what I mean, Cancer. But more so, just like having that conversation to initiate, so that like to let others know, just like, hey, I see you, and and I don't, I'd appreciate it if we went ahead and like however you I was just say tap that because Queen of Crystals is a Libra energy. You know, tap into that diplomatic side of yourself, Cancer, and just like I feel like there's a way to de-escalate this situation, but still get your point across. If that makes sense. Very very interesting energy here, Cancer. All right, let's get some advice from Jupiter and Neptune. All right, Cancer. Last little bit here. All right, interesting. So you have the Three of Wands, the Eight of Cups, the Eight of Wands, and the King of Stars here, Cancer. And let's switch back over. I do kind of feel like, Cancer, that there's this energy for some. Just when we were talking about that, like kind of like learning or just kind of like expanding your, yeah, maybe you just like wanted to learn more things, just kind of like have a broader, I don't know, broader, it's like broader subjects to bring or something along those lines, Cancer. I do feel that with the Three of Wands being here, you know, it's if that's something that you have been kind of flirting with for a while, Cancer. Maybe you've wanted to take up a course or something along those lines. You know, if you've been getting these instincts, I feel like pay attention to those messages that are coming through. But I feel like just no matter what the situation is going on, Cancer, just in that instance, but really in general, pay attention to kind of like the messages that are coming through. Like, and I feel like it's more than just even with the crystals. I feel like it's more than just like what the words are saying, or like more. There's something deeper to this thought process. Just considering how the king and queen and the hierophant and the high priestess kind of came out there, because I do feel like that maybe for some we're either thinking about like walking away from something or getting ready to leave something behind to just find this maybe more something to find, like I feel like a bit more stability. Because even just thinking with like how just even thinking sometimes like how air energy can be, it's it's not that I feel like air signs, you know, can't commit or anything along those lines, but there is this need of, you know, just, you know, like for example, like my Gemini moon, for example. I love talking with people. I could talk to people all day every day, just to kind of go around there. And it's I do feel like that maybe for some it's like that. It's not that you don't mind that, but I do feel like it's just like we want something more or something along those lines, something more, because it's like maybe we have some been dealing with someone that's, I'm getting like maybe just like a lot of air energy or something that is just in the sense of, or at least they're operating in their air energy in a way that it's just like it's just not, it's not feeling secure like I feel like you may want, Cancer. But and we may be thinking about like leaving that for something a little more grounded. Just even think of the hierophant, that's Taurus energy, and even just thinking about the moon, our ruler. The moon is exalted in Taurus, you know, and I feel like that's a Taurus. I feel like Taurus and Cancers, we have quite a bit in common. I think that we have a pretty dope relationship. And I feel like we're looking like for something like that, something maybe a little more comfortable, you know, like a and again, I like that, Cancer. I know there's no, you know, you're in a judgment free zone, but it's just like it's something different here, Cancer. That I feel like that's changing, but I'm also kind of getting an energy here with the Eight of Wands to kind of to just sort of slow down a little bit, Cancer, but in the sense of like really being present of what's going on. Like I just feel like maybe things have just been happening so fast, or maybe either like people have been trying to talk so fast or something that it's like really processing what maybe others are saying, or it's either what others are saying or the energies that are going on around you or something along those lines. It's like paying attention to that type of stuff there, because in really processing it, and if we don't understand, if we don't have time to unpack it right there, I don't know, making a note of it for later. It's fascinating energy coming through here, Cancer. But I think I'm gonna leave that there. So I hope that that made sense. Yeah, because I was just like, that's the first time that that cunning has come through there. So that's like you Cancer trying to keep me on my toes. I like that. But if anything resonated with you, Cancer, give it a thumbs up and share this. You know, if you know someone who's maybe been feeling like, I don't know, it's like there's this sense of doubt. Like there's like, it's like we feel like maybe even like, I don't know if it's like we feel that. Yeah, I don't know if we feel like it's like we're dealing with someone who thinks they're clever or thinks they're cunning, thinks they're like they can pull a fast one or something along those lines. You know, just yeah, just I'm about to get back to your reading, Cancer. Share this thing and then tell all these kings and hierophants and high priestesses to subscribe and hit that bell button to get notified when I release videos each day. And then I'm on this meditation app Insight Timer. I started a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. And it's just a group to post positive affirmations, encouraging messages, things along those lines. And as it grows, I'm going to start doing different guided meditations, healing affirmations, things along those lines. And I can call them different things, you know, like going void, of course, with the high priestess or oh, I'm still thinking of something with the Hierophant, you know, gaining confidence with the Strength card. But definitely check that out, Cancer. And then lastly, while you're checking that out, check your sun, moon, rising, Mars, Jupiter, Neptune. Check all that stuff, Cancer. I'm on over to my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do videos weekly there. It's like, oof, dude, I do a lot of channels, Cancer. Like two, but it's like I do the do videos weekly there. It's a good old time, and all that housekeeping it's down in the description box below. But let me get you surprise cards here so I can get you out of here, Cancer. All right, Cancer, how fascinating. So you got the Judgment card here, and I feel with the Judgment card that I'm almost getting like that. I'm more so getting like because the Judgment card is Pluto energy. And if there's, I don't know if it's necessarily aggressive, Cancer, but I do feel like that there's this energy here of, it's like there's like a power play that's going on here, you know, with this energy. I'm not, it's very fascinating what's coming through, but I do feel like that it's like we're in this place where it's just like it's like either we've been feeling like we haven't been able to be heard, or like our thoughts get dismissed, or that, you know, someone just thinks that they know this all thing, and it's just like we feel like we're ready for like a big change here, because I feel like Tower and Judgment here, that's a pretty aggressive change, because Mars and Pluto, you know, and Pluto is a higher octave of Mars, so I feel like this is like we're really getting to this place of just like, you know what, enough's enough maybe, or that we're just like we're ready to just kind of get out of this energy, because it's just like what are we doing, you know. But let me get your Oracle card. But I will say, Cancer, it's just kind of popped in my head that oh, and then it went away. Where'd it go, Cancer? Being careful about, I almost feel like it's like being careful about where this may be happening. Again, I feel like that there is a diplomatic way of going about it, that we can make a point without having to, I don't know, it's like taking it there, Cancer, like really. Let me see what your other card is here. Oh, interesting. Speaking a little more Pluto energy here, you got the Palo Santo card, which is the 55th card. It's like, oh, hold on, Cancer. It is the Guardian card, and it is ruled by the South Node, and Pluto. So I do feel like, Cancer, like kind of like what I was sort of talking about, like with the Judgment card. It's like I feel like there's not a need to, if someone's been trying to operate in this energy, I don't feel like there's necessarily a need to match them or anything along those lines, or need to really lower your vibration, you know, because I get where sometimes it's like, sometimes, you know, I was just talking with someone about this, you know, it's like they could pick the right one. But Cancer, I feel that it's, don't worry about that. It's that, you know what, there, you are, let their higher selves take care of that. You know, I feel like this is not one where I feel like it's where we just focus on what you want to change, and where your guardians, like, I almost feel like it's like, listen to your higher self. It's like, it was like, where Cancer, I know you want to go there, but it's like, is this really good? Is this really what you want? Do we really want to blow this thing out of proportion, or can we just change this thing and keep it moving, and just send them love and light? So, and however this may be translated, Cancer, but I think I'm gonna leave that there. So you stay safe out there, Cancer. You know, this cunning and things, and yeah, and just keep eyes on the moon, Cancer. I'm just you know, High Priestess showed up here, so you are divinely protected here, Cancer. You know, your guardian showed up, your ruler showed up, so I feel like we're, you know, we're in a good place. But just be mindful of lowering our vibrations. You know what we're doing, and I will catch you on the next one, Monday. Oh, and have a good weekend, Cancer.